Alright guys, so welcome back to the channel. For this video, we're going to do something slightly different, and I'm going to talk about what I want to see if we get a To Sleep in a Sea of Stars sequel book. I just want to test out this different type of video on my channel and see how you guys like it. If you like it, comment down below. This will be more of a rambling video. It'll be less structured than my book reviews, so if you guys like this type of format and want me to keep going with it, let me know down in the comments. If you want to follow me on social media, I will put my link to my Instagram, which is Riley Murray Book Reviews, and my Twitter, which is Riley T. Murray, down in the description. As always, if you guys have books you want me to do reviews on in the future, leave them down in the comments. So, with all that out of the way, let's hit the intro. To start off, I'm going to be going back and discussing the end of To Sleep in the Sea of Stars. If no one has read the book before and it does not want to be spoiled, I will leave a time code down in the corner which you can jump to so you don't get spoiled by anything. I will leave you guys a second to go and jump to that time code if you don't want to be spoiled. If you guys stayed, I'm assuming that you guys are completely fine with me talking about the ending of the book. Either you've read it before, or you just really don't care. At the end of the book, Kira and the Seed are finally able to kill Cetane, the leader of the Jellies, and immediately after that, the Maul starts to attack them. Kira is forced to jump into the Maul ship. The UMC fires a missile at it, destroying the Maul ship, but in the process, Kira, the Seed, and the Maul all fuse into one super beam. After a while, Kira discovers that the Maul she is facing is not the only instance of the Maul, and that there are 7 others out there. With a combination of the Seed's abilities and the Maul, she is able to create a ship for herself to go out into the universe and find and hunt down the 7 other versions of the Maul. So if you skip to this time code, I'm now going to discuss what I want to see in a To Sleep in a Sea of Stars sequel, so you guys are not in any danger of spoilers if you wanted to avoid them. First thing I really want to see in a sequel to this book is a really good and detailed explanation of what the heck the Seed actually is. We get a pretty good explanation of what the Seed / Softblade actually is. We get a rough history of it, but I feel like in the sequel, Paolini really has to go into detail with what this thing is, who created it. I also want to see a little bit of more of what it can do. I feel like Paolini has a really good chance to increase what the Softblade can do now that Kira and the Softblade have really bonded together. So I feel like it's a really good time for Paolini to give us a very, very detailed explanation of what the Softblade can do and where did it come from and who created it. That would definitely be a very good opportunity for this second book. So, a second thing I really want in a To Sleep in a Sea of Stars sequel is a way for the Softblade to communicate with Kira. Now, there's a slight caveat to this one. I don't want it to be necessarily a mental link like Eragon and Saphira have. That would kind of be very weird to suddenly intro that idea in the second book. Because this would be the second book, it would just be weird. It would just seem very, very out of place for that suddenly to happen. Because in the Eragon book, you're very quickly given the explanation of the mental link that the dragon and the rider has. Now, the Softblade and its host have that sort of link, but at least in the Eragon series, the whole mental conversation thing was brought up very quickly, whereas we've never had an indication that this thing can talk to its host. And I feel like it would kind of be very, very weird and just very out of place for it to suddenly start happening in the second book. So I feel like the best way to have them communicate is the Softblade sending Kira its memories, and then Kira, because she's been bonded to it for so long, she's really able to understand what the Softblade is thinking and what it wants her to understand. So I feel like if Paolini really gets Kira inside the mind of the Softblade and they really become very good at reading each other's thoughts, I feel like that's a good thing. So the third thing I really want to see in a To Sleep in the Sea of Stars sequel is an explanation on the Old Ones / the Vanished. So during the course of the book, Kira finds old vanished tech throughout the book. So we've established that these guys do exist. So now that we know that they exist, I think the second book would be a very good opportunity for Paolini to give us a full out detailed history, what happened to them, and did they create the Soft Blade, which is what I'm personally going with. Again, in the second book, Paolini should drill down as Kira's going and taking out the different versions of the Maul. She should be encountering different Vanished One's tech. I feel like that's a very natural way, honestly, to give us an explanation on what these things are, what even happened to them, and why did they vanish. I honestly really hope that Christopher Paolini takes advantage of having us get an explanation on the Vanished. So another thing I really want to see if Paolini does is, are we going to do what he did in the second Eragon book and switch POVs between characters? The reason I'm really interested in this is because if you guys have read the Eragon series, in the second book, he goes and switches between different POVs. He switches between Eragon's POV and Roran's POV most of the book. So I'm interested to see, are we just going to solidly be following Kira's POV the entire time? Or are we going to be following Kira's POV and the crew of the Wallfish POV? Because I feel like now that the Wallfish crew is not with Kira, he's either going to completely forget about them, which I would be kind of okay with, or Paolini's going to find a reason for the Wallfish to be involved in the story somehow. I'm interested to see what he does, because again, he introed the whole multi-POV in his second book for the Eragon series. I hope if he does decide to go with multi-POV, that he finds a way to make the crew of the Wallfish's plot interesting, that he's not just jumping POVs randomly. I don't want Kira to be in the middle of something super exciting and then us jump to the Wallfish POV and be like, oh, come on, why are you jumping? I don't necessarily love the crew of the Wallfish as much as I do Kira, so it'll be kind of annoying if we just randomly jump from Kira and the Wallfish crew without the Wallfish crew having some sort of interesting plot for me to get invested in. Alright guys, so thank you for checking in on the video. I know this was a very different video than what I normally do, so if you guys enjoyed it, please let me know down in the comments. If you guys want to rewatch my To Sleep in a Sea of Stars video, I will leave a link to it up in the corner, so you guys can go and rewatch that. Also, don't forget, I just dropped my Ranking the Heroes of Olympus series, so if you guys want to go and watch that, I will leave a link to it, so you guys can go and check that out. If you guys want to follow me on social media, my Instagram is Riley Murray Book Reviews, and my Twitter is Riley T. Murray. I will leave links to both of those down in the description if you want to go and follow them. Next video is still going to be Evan Winters' Rage of Dragons review, so make sure you guys are subscribed so you do not miss it. Have a great week. I will see you next video, and don't forget, keep on reading.